Coming up right now on Daily Flash, a kidnapping case in Australia takes a bizarre twist in court.
Also coming up, a TV weather anchor takes some heat for her appearance and rains down on a viewer.
And later, a celebrity is getting lit up on social media for a gift she gave her 5-month-old daughter.
Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
And I'm Matt Doolittle in for Mitch English today. Welcome to Daily Flash.
You're here, you found us.
Still
Welcome.
recovering from my fall down, go boom.
Yeah,
So
how's that working out for you?
one day at a time. It's the fight.
For those of you who don't know, Matt was deep sea diving, and the shark cage he was in became loose.
It came loose, and I had to fight my way all the way back up, and headbutted a great white shark on the way up.
And you're harpoon locked.
Yes.
Yes, underwater.
Yes, and I blew him up at the end, and he had an oxygen tank in his mouth. It was a great scene.
And then you said, we need a bigger boat.
Yes,
Okay.
I did all the things.
That's how it works.
That's how it works, right? That's how the magic's made, ladies and gentlemen. Have you done any Christmas shopping yet, Matt?
Yes, I knocked it all out on Black Friday. There were some really good deals.
Wow.
Your favorite Costco had some good stuff, so I was able to knock out some stuff for everybody and then myself.
You're
what'd you get?
done?
Yeah.
Wow, what'd you get for yourself?
I got a new gimbal camera. It was $100 off at Costco, so and I've been eyeing it, and they were like, "Hey, it was $300 cheaper than Amazon, and then it was $100 cheaper that day."
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. How was the shopping cart traffic in Costco?
On the day after Thanksgiving, it wasn't horrible, but at Costco, it's always bad, comparatively, just because they're all swinging it all over the place. Plus, they're bigger carts.
Yes. So a guy's gone viral on social media for getting into it and shoving his cart into another lady's cart in the middle of a Costco because her cart was blocking the aisle. And he was so enraged that he had his cart along with his dog. He was trying to get through. She unknowingly just left the cart in the middle of the aisle, which is a dumb move, in my opinion.
As it happens.
And he got mad, so he just rammed her cart to get through the aisle.
Costco, there's something where your blood pressure goes up the minute you walk in there, especially if it's a weekend.
Yes.
When the
my
wife's
God.
like, "Hey, can we go to Costco? It's Sunday at 2:00. Are you insane?"
Right.
But it's always small restaurant owners, or it's people just aimlessly wandering looking for stuff, and they do that. There's a thing. I have a theory where people go stupid in 3 places: the airport, theme parks, and grocery stores.
Yes.
They just go stupid.
Right, because it drives me nuts. Like if somebody's, cruising down the aisle and they just leave their basket right there and then they wander down the aisle to look at stuff. I'm like, can you not just pull it over to the side and look?
My favorite is the swing move, where you're all in line.
Yeah.
It's like you're driving, and all of a sudden they just swing it back around. It's like you didn't think to look behind you that someone might be here.
It's the cheap hot dogs that makes them crazy. That's what it is.
Oh, they have the best hot dogs.
$1.50, baby, combo.
Hot dog and a drink, baby. But they don't give you the onions anymore. They used to be able to get the crank onions, but they don't.
They're getting cheap.
The one thing I could appreciate during the pandemic, and I don't know who everybody else's grocery stores had these, where it was the one-way aisle.
Yeah,
where they had
I didn't
the
like
line.
it.
I was like, can we go back to that?
No, I hated that. Because I was going down the wrong way and this lady totally shamed me in the aisle. You're going the wrong way. I'm getting something. Leave me alone.
Alrighty, well, a man in Sydney was kidnapped and beaten up by 4 men. That's what I'm going with for myself, too, including the victim's brother-in-law, and it was all captured on camera. Images of the kidnapping played out in an Australian courtroom where the 2 suspects appeared for sentencing. The motive for the kidnapping appears to be revenge. One suspect believed the victim married his sister to score an Australian visa. The photos of the crime from 2023 show the suspects putting the victim in a headlock while the guy's brother-in-law sits next to him in a car. Police eventually pulled the car over as it traveled from Melbourne to Guildford, a 9-hour road trip. All 4 men confessed to their part in the crime.
My question is, what were they going to do with the guy once they got to their destination? Were they just trying to harass him in the back of a car?
I hate road trips as it is if they're over 2 hours, and let alone 9 hours with a guy that you're trying to scare, I guess.
I don't know. I don't get it. Like, what was the end goal here?
It had to be just to spook him, to get him to run off. What do you do with him for 9 hours? Like, do you play charades in the car?
They talked about each other's families, what they were doing for the holidays.
Yeah.
How they got beat up over cheesecake.
Yeah, I don't get what their plan was, and to go that far with it, and then they're like, yeah, we did it. In Australia, they're like, we got some crazy stuff that happens here, and this is just dumb.
It's hard enough to spend, a couple of hours with your family, on Thanksgiving, but 9 hours in the car with 4 adults, that are all considered family.
I mean, I did a 27-hour road trip from here to Texas with my then girlfriend, and that when we got done and we didn't kill each other, that's when I knew I was going to marry her, because we survived that road trip with a blown tire in Lafayette.
That's huge.
And everything, and we didn't lose it, and I was like, if I can survive this road trip, I'm marrying this woman.
90% of successful relationships are all about problem solving together. That is true. A weather expert in Seattle is calling out a viewer who criticized her choice of clothing. Claire Anderson is 7.5 months pregnant and is a forecaster for a local TV station in Washington State. She shared an email she received from a viewer and posted her response with a video on social media. The complaint suggested she steer clear of form-fitting dresses because it wasn't a good look on TV. They mentioned the skin-tight dresses were a distraction from her presentation. Anderson is due in January.
People get behind their keyboards and send off anything these days. I follow a lot of news anchors. It's just being in this business. We know a lot of them. And they've started posting these and shaming the people that send them in. They're like, what is wrong with you? Like, why would you send this to me?
See, I have a problem with that because I think, you're on television. You put yourself out there. People are idiots. They're going to send you stupid stuff. They're going to be mean and awful. But to go ahead and do the same thing back to them on social media, especially when you have a bigger platform, I think it's a disservice, and I think it makes her look bad.
Yeah, and when you're trying to be a journalism and keep your integrity, do you need to bring? And like you said, you're putting yourself out there. You're going to get criticism.
You got to fight back sometimes, And what does she want her to wear? A muumuu?
Well, I mean, I get it. Like, you can fight back, but you can fight back in a nice way. You don't have to get on social media and embarrass someone.
But that's what gets all the views, though.
Yeah, I know, but I just think it's terrible behavior.
News directors want clicks these days, and that's what they're pushing them to do.
That's a good point.
Well, Sophia Richie is getting ripped by social media critics after she announced that her 5-month-old daughter has an iPhone. The 26-year-old model shared a text conversation she had with her baby daddy about the infant's new iPhone. Some of the haters were horrified that baby Eloise has a phone. However, it's unclear how much of the story was taken out of context. I mean, the kids are, that's what babysitters are right anymore. They just go, here's an iPad.
Well, I was talking to James about this. James?
3-year-old, my son had an iPad at 3, so.
But 3 is different than 5 months.
3 is different than 5, yeah. So at 5 months, 1, the phone has radiation. 2, she shouldn't have it. That means the kid is bored and you're not doing enough.
and at that young, like what's a kid doing on there? Just hitting buttons? Like, it doesn't know where it's going.
It doesn't. Maybe it's intuitive at this point. I don't know.
My 2-year-old nephew, though, he's got some problems. So that his parents, they keep him active on the phone. But his mom gave it to him once, and I was up in Michigan with his dad at their restaurant, and he goes, "What is this?" He got on to her Snapchat thing or something and started streaming her while she was in the bathroom. And he knew what he was doing because he was framing it up and showing her.
That's why you gotta be careful.
Like, hey, look, there she is on the toilet.
Oh, boy.
My 3-year-old sent her mom money through my Cash App, so.
Oh, she sent money.
So she's learning early.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
she's learning early.
Amazing how intuitive they can be on those phones when they need to be. A sweet 73-year-old Italian woman has found a surprise following on social media thanks to her cooking. She's known as That Lady Anna. Mama Prezio has about 500,000 followers on her socials. She cooks an array of Italian meals that are condensed into short 1-minute reels. The mother of 3 and grandmother to many uses her home kitchen as the backdrop for all of her cooking videos. Prezio said she's still amazed that her posts receive so much attention. She's also been asked if she would consider teaching an Italian cooking class.
These are the positives of social media. And I've seen this happen for a lot of elderly people. They find a craft they're good at. I follow this guy that does fishing tips and stuff. And all of a sudden it'll go viral and they're like, I have a new meaning. Like they almost find a second wind in life
Right.
to keep doing these because they realize they get the positive feedback.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, people are actually liking this. And they get their grandson or something to set up the camera and do it for them.
And I'm guessing that there's a grandson or daughter involved in producing all of these fabulous videos.
Yeah, it has
because
to
I'm
be.
guessing Mama, she does not put these all together
No,
herself.
she's not getting done and jumping on Final Cut and slapping these up and putting them on YouTube. I can't really see that.
She's busy making manicotti.
Oh, it looks good too.
It does look good, right?
You invite us over to eat.
I mean, come on. What is it with food videos too?
It's just
Because
like-
they're just
Because you're like, oh, I can make that. Like I just did the Burt Kreischer or the Matthew McConaughey tuna at home the other night after watching that.
Okay.
Oh, he puts wasabi in it, corn, frozen peas. It was delicious.
Okay.
But it was apparently the McConaughey, and he's like, what you do is you put some wasabi in it. Burt's like, what? And I was like, oh, and it's good. It's got a little pop in it.
Stay with us. More to come. We're going to talk about the RV life. Mitch is going to take us inside of an RV. And then there's bullfrog pizza.
Ugh.
Air, land, and sea. It's time for a little flash travel. And today, I think I'm about to get kidnapped here. And we're talking about kidnapped in luxury for sure. We're talking about the top of the line RVs are out there. And of course, the best time of the year to be able to do it, I would say, is holiday time because you can go and visit families and such, right? Wouldn't you agree? Well, joining me now is Andre Medeiros, and he is, of course, with KARV Repair. Thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you.
This thing is incredible. What am I sitting inside of?
Well, this is an Atlas Airstream 2020.
Okay.
It's one of the top 4 Airstreams they can make. We call the B+.
B+, okay.
Now Mercedes chassis, diesel engine, diesel generator. It's like a 5-star hotel.
It does. It feels very space shuttle-ish like. Everything's top of the line here, which you'd expect in an RV like this by Airstream. This is the time of year, as I mentioned here, doing some traveling. What is the advantage of maybe going by RV as opposed to maybe hotels?
Well, buying RVs is always, much easier than hotels. Think about that. You actually travel with your family, park in the driveway, load your stuff, and just go to your destination. And the difference in a hotel, you have to put everything in the car. It spends those now traveling around with the family, gets there, unload. The load is being. The RVs, you don't have that stress.
Okay, sure.
It's very relaxing. You travel with your family, is what it's all about. Like camping is about that. Travel with family together.
Those memories, keep them there. And how can you make it, though, more like a cozier kind of atmosphere? What's some things you can do inside the RV itself?
Well, number one, now you can, with your family here, and then I used to do myself. I was a 25 years a full-timer myself.
Oh, wow.
Yes, for 25 years with my family. Travel, and I have my kids in the RVs, and we tell stories, and and the trip passed so fast because we'll talk about, hey, look at this beautiful place here. Let's stop in the Grand Canyon. Hey, let's pull over in the Yellowstone Park. And on the hotel, you cannot do that.
That's true.
With the RVs,
you're stuck in that one place.
Absolutely. And with the RVs, you have that ability that you actually go to the point, stop there, travel with the family, and that story they'll never forget. My kids still now, one is 18 years old, they still talk about the times that we travel.
And my kids the same way. We went up to North Carolina. They said it's their favorite trip they've ever done in an RV, and they loved it. And the RV parks have gone way, way high class too, with pools and that sort of thing.
Yes.
There are some challenges, though, I would imagine, that you have to kind of face, especially around the holidays. What are they?
Well, it's going to be the only challenge that I can see right now, the traffic. You have to, unfortunately, stay in traffic, be there in the line. But think about that. You're in traffic, but look at this space over here. That here, we're actually, watching TV and, see what's going on there. We talk about you closing the car. You don't have that intimate with your family to talk about. How I say, when you travel in RV, times pass so fast. And it's really good that you can, travel together with your family.
There's so much world out there to see. Why not do it? Let's talk a little bit about those maybe that might be a little new to the RV traveling. Maybe renting or buying. What's some tips, some ideas that there are maybe things to look out for?
Well, I always recommend the people to do that. I mean, how I say it, I was a full-timer for 25 years, right? If you say the first timers, they probably wants to rent one first. Let's rent, try it. Maybe they like a trailer. Maybe they like a Class A, a Class B, a Class C. Rent is the best way to actually try. And maybe have those people that only use their RV once a month. Why buy one? Just rent an RV. Use when you get it done. Just return like a rental car. You have no hacks and no have to worry about insurance. and all the good stuff.
And the only thing you take away would be the memories, I would imagine, of that. And finally, if RV travelers, if they want to save in convenient places, how can they find those places to stay that I mentioned?
Absolutely. We have state parks, that, especially the Floridians, they can go to state parks there on it, and they can get $30 a night on the state parks.
Yeah, it's very inexpensive.
Absolutely.
Right?
And then the apps that you can download apps, you can find them station place to stop with the RV. All the travel stops, the Pilot, Flying J's, they also RV friendly. And Florida is a capital in the world. There's all RVs in Florida.
Yeah.
We have no problem to find spaces, and as everything today is online, right?
Online, and you don't really get the appreciation until you sit inside one like I am right now, and you can do just the same. This is a great idea. I mean, I got to tell you, my kids love RVing when they're growing up. Your family can create memories as well. And of course, if you want to find out more information on RVing and a whole lot more, of course, maybe even have an RV, you want to maybe get it fixed, go to KARV Repair, or you can do it to our website at dailyflashshow.com. Thank you, Andre.
Thank you.
Let's go take off.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Let's take it.
Mitch, thank you. And then there's this. Move over, pineapple on pizza. There is a new contender in the what were they thinking category. Deep fried bullfrog pizza.
Yeah.
Yep, Pizza Hut China is hopping into the bizarre food game with their Goblin Pizza, inspired by the hit mobile game Dungeon and Fighter Origins. It features a spicy base, an entire bullfrog, and a handful of spices. This new creation has social media in a full-blown debate. While it's only available for pre-order at 3 locations, brave foodies report the actual pizza does not quite live up to the glossy promo pictures. Frog legs, anyone on your pizza.
I know they have these specialty foods overseas, like China. They're going to throw that on there to go along with the video game. I mean, we just had Wendy's do a promotion with SpongeBob SquarePants with a Krabby Patty thing, but the bullfrog thing, and influencers are just going to want to go try this. This is all that's going to be for.
Just for the pictures. So where do you stand, Matt, when it comes to the pineapple on pizza?
I can't do it. I know some people when it starts getting the cheese on the pineapple and then it gets a weird texture. I've seen the video with Gordon Ramsay actually eating the pineapple on a pizza because he lost a bet and he throws it up right there. And I'm like, well, that's about right.
I'm taking it Gordon Ramsay's not a pineapple on pizza guy.
No, he was not. He actually lost a bet and was forced to do it. But I don't like the sour thing that goes with it. What about you?
But it's like the sweet and the salty. It's like sweet and sour.
It's just, and then we always have to experiment with these foods and everything. I went through a Pizza Hut once, and I told them it was one of those Pizza Hut Taco Bells, and I was like, I got an idea. Take that pizza, put all the taco stuff on it, put the tortilla on top. It was delicious. They owe me for that.
Mexican pizza.
Exactly, but
right?
it was my take on it.
All right, let us know what you think. Head to our website, soundoffdailyflashshow.com.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Well, it is time for some real talk, fact or fiction.
Yep.
We're taking a closer look at the coupon caper Queen Pins, starring Kristen Bell and Vince Vaughn.
So what are we dealing with here? Gun runners? Drug dealers?
It's 2 women who are counterfeiting coupons.
This feels like a lot. You don't think we're coming in a little hot here, boss?
Total's $138.55.
Is it?
It's like 1,000 coupons. New trophy.
Queen Pins is inspired by a true story. Kristen Bell is a bored housewife in the movie who finds a way to cash in on a multi-million-dollar coupon scheme. She teams up with her best friend, and the pair create an online coupon club where they make millions by selling coupon books. If this sounds outrageous, it's actually true. It really did happen.
It sounds kind of entrepreneurial, though.
Yeah.
It's almost like with Catch Me If You Can, that character, where you're like, yeah, it's kind of, bad, but you're going, I'm kind of rooting for him. Like
you do to some degree, right?
It's a good idea.
It's not the creation. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, so what's fact and what's fiction in Queen Pins? Let's start with the 2 lead characters, Connie and JoJo.
Mountain of death.
Is this the best we're ever gonna do? How come I'm so broke? The system has set us up to fail. You know who gets rewarded? People who don't follow the rules. It's time we start bending them a little.
Where did you get these?
When you send these companies a complaint, they send you a coupon for free stuff. All of these free coupons come from one factory.
It's like Robin Hood. We gotta steal these coupons and sell them to families who really need them. That's money in the bank.
In reality, there were 3 women involved. The ringleader, Robin Ramirez, Marilyn Johnson, and Amy Fountain. The 2 women in the movie are not directly based on any of the real-life women. Robin Ramirez was considered the ringleader. She received a 2-year prison sentence for the involvement in her scheme. And Johnson and Fountain both got probation for their part. All 3 were fined more than $1 million each in order to pay Procter & Gamble. When these comedies are inspired by a true story, they normally take some liberties. And one of the liberties they took with Kristen Bell's character is they made her an Olympic speed walker, which of course was not the case, but for comedy it was good.
You got to lighten it up a little bit.
Exactly.
You got to throw a little extra in there to figure out their quirkiness there, right? You got to add something to the character.
Yeah.
Well, in the movie, actor Paul Walter Hauser plays Ken Miller, a loss prevention officer for a grocery store, and is the key to tracking down the queen pins.
I am the loss prevention officer. Thousands of these coupons, they're getting mailed out all over the country. We need boots on the ground ASAP.
Oh, baby. Simon Kilmer, a U.S. Postal Inspector.
They said that they were sending the FBI. What do? You carry mail around or something?
That would be a mailman. They carry the mail. I carry a gun. We are investigating a counterfeit coupon ring costing companies tens of millions of dollars.
Oh, Vince Vaughn being Vince Vaughn.
Yes.
That's great. Well, the character of Ken is based loosely on a man by the name of Bud Miller. However, Bud did not work for a grocery chain. Instead, he was the executive director of the Coupon Information Corporation. In real life, he was recognized by the FBI for fighting complex coupon fraud schemes, and he was instrumental in taking down the 3 women who inspired the Queen Pins movie. Vince Vaughn's character was completely fiction. It was created to add a buddy cop angle to the script. In reality, the Phoenix Police Department conducted an undercover operation to bust the coupon scheme within 8 weeks. And again, you got to add that good cop, bad cop.
Yes.
Obviously one's tall and thin, and you get the little fat one, and it's an Abbott and Costello back and forth.
Exactly.
So it adds to it.
Yes.
I get that.
Agreed, yeah. Again, for the comedy element inspired, you got a little bit of truth in there, but mostly fiction.
I do like, they're like, just call him Ken Miller, not Bud Miller.
Yeah,
just change one thing so we don't have to pay him.
Change one name and
so we
we're
don't have
okay.
to pay him. Well, also in the movie, the 2 main characters rake in more than $40 million and appear to live a flashy lifestyle.
We're Queen Pins, bitch.
Coupons aren't about what you buy. It's about the feeling you get. They call it the coupon high. Supposedly it's better than intimacy with another person. Or so I've been told.
Sorry, have you not used a coupon or have you not had sex?
What happened?
It's always good for the montage to show them living the
of course.
lifestyle. But according to investigators, the women did in fact steal more than $40 million in counterfeit coupons. They purchased the fake coupons from overseas and resold them on their own website. Police said they definitely lived a life of luxury. They seized more than $2 million in assets, including 4 homes, 22 guns, a 40-foot speedboat, and 21 luxury cars. Man, they went on a spree. And yes, the ringleader rented an airplane hangar to store all her big-ticket items, along with a luxury RV and a Corvette worth $150,000. Business Insider says the women cheated 40 different companies at a loss of between $400 and $600 million. Again, an entrepreneurial effort, couldn't they? But, could you be busted for the same thing if you went and got a stack of all those, the free coupon books you see at the grocery store and just used those all? Or is it the fact that they had them imported?
The fact that they had them made and imported and then sold them to other people, and the people who bought those coupons were also called into question.
Yeah.
So they also got in trouble because they knew they were buying fake coupons.
You can't buy a stereo that fell off the back of a truck type thing, right?
Stay with us. Financially Speaking, our guest is coming up next.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, Hi everyone, I'm Matt Doolittle in for Mitch English.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
So usually I don't get caught up in the scammer phone calls. I can tell, or my phone will say it. This was after I had my little fall down, go boom. So I was just like, the phone number comes up. You're like, oh, what is this now? What is this now?
For those of you who don't know, Matt was on a scooter.
I don't ride lights.
Hit a rock and flipped over.
I knew it was going to happen.
Okay.
Anyway, so I get this call and I let it go to voicemail, and it sounds pretty legit. It goes, for the county we live in, this is the sheriff's deputy for this county, something. We had an incident. You need to give us a call back at your earliest convenience. And I'm going, okay, there wasn't any police involved in this thing. This was my own fall down.
So you thought it was connected to your accident. Okay.
So immediately you get that and your heart starts going like crazy.
Of course.
He didn't leave a phone number. So I called the county that was in, and they were like, that deputy doesn't even work here. So I called it back to try to mess with him. And immediately he just starts going into this, well, you missed a court date and you have to pay us a fine and let me get my supervisor. And I looked up the name he gave me. I don't want to say the name after, but I looked up the name, and there's a whole string of these going on across the country. Same name of the deputy, but they didn't even leave the phone number for it. But if you get one of those calls, immediately, because this is what the sheriff's department told me, just call the sheriff's department directly. They will never ask you for money. They'll never ask you for gift cards. I didn't even get to that far in it because I was just like, my wife's like, calm down.
I love the fact that they want to get paid in gift cards.
Yeah.
You can pay your ticket with a gift card. Since when?
It's a whole thing that you missed a court day and all this, but he had my address, which freaked me out. But I mean, that you can find out anybody's address online. So I guess they just have a list of it, but be careful with those scammers, especially this time of year. And it just scared me because it's not like I still get them for my dad, and he's been dead for 5 years. Like, oh, we're gonna come pick up Jim Doolittle for a violation. I'm like, good luck. Here you go. Take him with you. I don't know. Yeah, he's in the ocean. But just be careful with when you hear the sheriff's department from your county call, kind of.
But it does remind you about how many mailing lists, where your information is going, every time you sign up for a new website, every time you sign up for purchasing something, you name it, your name, your address, your phone number, your email address, it's all available 24/7 on the web.
Yeah, and I watch those scammer guys, they get into it with those people, and they come off legit, and I just really feel bad for the elderly people, or the ones that don't realize that was coming in. But what really got me was he didn't leave a phone number to call back.
Well, but his phone number was on the phone.
His phone number was on the phone, but he didn't leave it for him to call back. You'd think they would say, hey, call back da-da-da-da-da-da number, but it was a scam number.
I always like it when I get the phone calls from Los Angeles, and the woman speaks in Chinese, and she tells me that I'm in trouble with the IRS. And I'm like, okay. And I can't understand a thing, but
I'll speak back in Chinese.
Yes.
And you can hear the call center in the background.
Exactly. And dogs barking. All right, okay, sure, I'll get right on that.
Yeah, so just be careful.
Yes, good advice there. A man in Sydney was kidnapped and beat up by 4 men, including the victim's brother-in-law. It was all caught on camera as well. Images of the kidnapping played out in an Australian courtroom where 2 suspects appeared for sentencing. The motive for the kidnapping appears to be revenge. One suspect believed the victim married his sister to score an Australian visa. The photos of the crime from 2023 show the suspects putting the victim in a headlock while the guy's brother-in-law sits next to him in a car. Police eventually pulled the car over as it traveled from Melbourne to Guildford, a 9-hour road trip. Wow. All 4 men confessed to their part in the crime.
And it's always good to document your kidnapping with your cell phone in the car.
It's good memories, man.
Yeah, hey,
remember that time when we got kidnapped?
At the next family get-together. Hey, remember when you kidnapped your husband?
It's so amazing to me, crimes that have been committed within the last decade, the digital footprint that is left behind everywhere.
If your phone is on, they can ping it and follow you. Or I love these guys that'll be like, oh, I didn't have my phone for 9 hours. And it's like, you never don't have your phone. What?
Right.
Like I've turned around 30 minutes to go back and get my phone because I'm like, oh, I can't live without it.
Oh, so it was turned off while you're on a road trip? Okay.
Yeah, and it didn't ping off of those places because I get roped into the HLN murder stories now, so I know all these tricks. And these are before cell phones, some of them.
All right, stay with us. We'd love to hear from you as far as your digital footprint goes. You can head to our website. Sound off is the button, dailyflashshow.com.
Don't kidnap your family members.
Don't. Well, it can be a challenge to stick to healthy choices, especially during the holidays. Joining us now is registered dietitian Carissa Galloway with some great options. Carissa, good to see you. What do you have for us today?
Well, I've got a brand new thing that you're going to love because it is veggie packed and it is from Fresh Express. It's going to help you get balanced, quick, affordable meals. Check these out. These are the Fresh Express hot or cold salad and noodle meal kits. It is a blend of chilled, freshly chopped vegetables. They're ready to eat. There's also those pre-cooked noodles there, gourmet dressing, and of course, we gotta have crispy toppings. And what I love the most is you get 2 meal options in every bag. So just mix everything together for a cold salad, or what I love to do, I add some oil to a pan, cook the veggies and noodles for a hot meal in just 5 minutes. 3 great flavors, teriyaki, Asian sweet ginger, and Korean sesame. And you're gonna find those next to the fresh pre-cut veggies or in the refrigerated produce department. It's just $5.99, so it's so affordable to grab, and then you add your favorite protein on top, and voila, we just made those holiday meals easier.
Yes, I've seen these in the grocery store, so I'm so glad you brought them today because I was like, oh, these look kind of interesting and somewhat healthy. This might be a good way to incorporate more salad, more greens into the diet, especially during the holidays.
And it's the meal prep that takes so long, right? The meal prep is done for you now. When we have that, when we have it planned, it makes those balanced meals easier. And with the holidays, enjoy the big meals. Take the shortcuts on the weekdays.
I like that. You've got shrimp and steak here. Some other options that we might consider?
Grilled chicken, tofu, salmon, whatever your protein. I even used leftover ground turkey the other day, and it was easy. So make it easier, not harder. And the veggies, that's what's going to keep us healthy this season.
I love the hot and the cold version. Where can people go for more information?
Well, you're going to want to head to Fresh Express website and make sure to look for them in the refrigerated produce section.
Perfect, Carissa. Thank you so much.
So are you struggling to find the perfect gift this year? Here's lifestyle expert Megan Murphy with some great gift ideas.
It can be stressful finding the perfect gifts for loved ones during the holiday season. Lifestyle expert Megan Murphy is here to help cross everyone off your list.
My top gift idea is Cricut Joy Extra. What better way to spread joy than by crafting personalized gifts? This compact and versatile crafting machine makes it easy to create professional-looking projects, from personalized t-shirts and cards to festive decor. Prepping for the holidays has never been easier with the HP All-In Plan. Starting at $6.99 per month, the subscription bundles a new HP printer with automatic ink delivery, 24/7 live support, and next business day replacements for any issues. Blending style and everyday use is the vision behind We Live. They offer versatile furniture like the We Live 6-drawer wood dresser or the 2-drawer wood nightstand with a charging station. This Amazon furniture brand fits seamlessly into any space.
For more information, you can visit the brand's websites.
Now is the perfect time to talk about the dangers of distracted driving. Here's more from the Travelers Institute and Cambridge Mobile Telematics.
Holiday season is upon us, and so is holiday travel. So we think this is a really important moment to talk to friends and family about roadway safety. First, program that navigation, set up that podcast before you leave your driveway. So really take a moment before you get underway to be intentional and make sure you're ready. Second, I'd say speak up. So when you see someone driving distracted, don't let that moment pass you by. We really need to start talking about this. Third and last, silence those incoming notifications when we're driving our vehicle. So if you have an iPhone, it's called Driving Focus. And for Android users, it's through Google Assistant. It's called Driving Mode. It takes 30 seconds to set it up. So we encourage everyone to give it a try this week. It really could not be easier.
Telematics technology measures risk and what causes crashes. That distracted driving is present on about 1/3 of all crashes. And this behavior peaks during the holiday season, with the top 3 days of the year being Thanksgiving, Christmas Day, and New Year's Day.
You can visit travelersinstitute.org or cmt.ai.
To Daily Flash, I'm Andrea Jackson. Shortly after being sworn in, President-elect Trump will unveil a new list of tax cuts for everyone. But how will those cuts affect you? Here with the answers is Allie Kelly. She's the economy reporter for Business Insider. Hi, Allie. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
So how will this next round of Trump tax cuts differ from the initial tax reforms introduced during his first term?
Absolutely. So in Trump's first term, he really focused on lowering taxes for high income earners versus the middle class or lower income families. And so I think that we can expect that again in a second Trump term, is continuing to lower taxes for people that are high income earners. The other thing that Trump has talked about on the campaign trail and in his policy proposals for his second term are lowering taxes on Social Security, people's Social Security income, and lowering taxes on tips. Whether people really see savings from these we'll kind of see, because it will also be influenced by his other proposed policies on tariffs and things like that that will impact consumer prices. So otherwise, his taxes on Social Security will also be impacted the way that the Social Security fund is funded. So there's a lot of different things in the way that government programs are funded that are going to be impacted by Trump's taxes. But yeah, we will wait and see.
When you talk about trickle-down economics and you think about the potential for the tax cuts, who do you think will benefit the most initially?
Yes, particularly on those Trump's proposal to cut taxes on Social Security income. I think that people that are, have retirement income from their 401k, from pensions, from other things, in addition to Social Security, will really experience kind of a tax cut in how much taxes they're paying on their monthly Social Security checks. One of the things that could be a problem for people that are lower income is that the way that the Social Security fund works is people pay into it throughout their careers, but it's also, one of the government itself that major expenditures. So we're going to see potential tax cuts impacting the Social Security fund's solvency. So that fund is funded through taxes, and it could continue to lead to potentially lower benefits over the next decade. So that's the thing that we're looking at short-term versus long-term impact on people, where tax cuts could help in the short term, particularly for high-income earners. But the way that government programs are funded for the middle class or lower-income people could potentially be hurt over time.
Allie, what specific changes can middle-class taxpayers expect, and how might these cuts impact their tax returns?
Right. So I think that middle income Americans are looking at a potential tax cut. It's something that we're not quite sure exactly what that will be, but it's something that Trump has suggested, and what that cutoff will be, we'll see. But I think people will have a little bit of tax relief, particularly on their income taxes, and maybe if they're in service work, taxes on tips or something like that. But we're also looking at pretty high tariff policies in Trump's proposals. So that could impact the way that people pay for consumer goods. Anything that is imported could have a high, but for businesses that are domestic, they will see incentives. A little bit of difference in price for things that are made domestically versus foreign.
Yeah, we could see more made in America, especially with the tariffs. Real quickly, small business and corporations likely to be affected by the Trump tax cuts early on?
Yeah, I think that it's really interesting. Small businesses, I think that we'll have to wait and see. Trump hasn't outlined a lot of specific policies for small businesses themselves. As for corporations, Trump has proposed lowering the corporate tax rate from 21% to 15% for firms that make their products in the US. So we could see kind of this made in America boom for domestic products, but a lot of the products that Americans use on the daily, from trucks to things like imported beer, are something that we could see. Even, people shopping at Walmart have said that they really could see a hike in prices.
Very good, Allie. We'll have to leave it there. For more information, head to our website, dailyflashshow.com.
Package thieves can ruin the magic of the holiday. Here's what you need to know about outsmarting the bad guys and keeping your deliveries safe.
This holiday season, package safety is top of mind for many shoppers. To help keep your delivery secure, Amazon has several easy ways to protect your packages from porch pirates. Amazon spokesperson Elisa Carroll shares how.
At Amazon, we know how frustrating it can be when packages go missing. That's why we offer several ways to help customers protect their deliveries. Features like real-time package tracking, photo on delivery, and the ability to specify hidden drop-off locations can help keep packages safe. Plus, Prime members can use Amazon Key in Garage Delivery for peace of mind.
Amazon also has thousands of secure and convenient pickup locations nationwide.
To stay one step ahead of package theft, consider using smart home devices like a Ring Video doorbell, which offer real-time alerts and video monitoring. If you suspect you've had a package stolen, report it to your local police and contact Amazon customer service through the app or online.
For more tips on keeping your packages safe, visit aboutamazon.com.
Did you know owning a dog could add years to your life? A study from 2019 linked dog ownership to an increase in physical activity and a lower risk of death following a heart attack or stroke. The American Heart Association has identified ways that being a pup parent can be good for your heart. Researchers found that dog owners are roughly 4 times more likely to meet the recommended 150 minutes of moderate exercise a week than non-dog owners. However, they did mention that walking the dog did not replace more intense forms of exercise. Pup owners tend to be more social because they are more likely to meet people while out in their neighborhood with their dog, chit-chatting, socializing, which is a big part of really having a good, strong physical and mental well-being.
Yeah, I haven't really found a cat park yet, to take Kiki and Charlotte out to now. Hell, they don't even get along yet.
Don't they have the cat cafes, though?
Yeah, they have those, but you're not allowed to bring your own because they don't want them mixing and mingling.
Yes.
Like, those cats are all kind of used to each other.
Yes.
If I took my little crazy one in there, he'd start darting after them all like he's still doing.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense. Are those mostly for people who are looking to adopt a cat or just spend time?
I think you can adopt it, but I think it's more for people to chill. My friend Chris lives in Atlanta, and he knows all of he's got 6 cats and a baby now. So he knows all the perfect cat cafes, but he travels the world. He's a stunt actor, and he'll find cat cafes in like China or Japan or wherever he's shooting, and then he's like, oh, look at this new cat cafe. I'm like, hey, Chris, whatever, man.
Okay.
Or they have cat pubs where you can go into. So it's a bar with cats. But yeah,
don't mind the cat hair in your ale. That's okay.
That'd be pretty gnarly.
All right. Well, stay with us. We're going to talk about some celeb real estate coming up next. We'll live the lifestyle of the rich and famous vicariously through stories.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Matt Doodle in for Mitch English with Miss Andrea Jackson. Well, it's time to take a look at the lifestyles of the rich and famous as we dive into some celebrity real estate.
Okay, let's start with one from the collection of Mika Erdogan. She was married to Ahmet Erdogan, the founder of Atlantic Records. Their Hamptons estate is now up for auction. This mansion, which is located on 450 feet of waterfront property, is on the market for the first time in 35 years. The couple had a hand in the home's design and the build. The estate includes 11,000 square feet of living space and sits on 5.5 acres of property. Features 10 bedrooms and 13 bathrooms. There's also a separate wing for the house staff. Price tag? $52 million.
Wow. I like the themed rooms, too.
Yeah,
they got a Frozen one and a Star Wars room. I'm all for that stuff. But how do you clean all that?
You hire help. That's where the staff lives.
You got to have staff wing just to take care of your house. That's too much for me. Well, an heir to the Bacardi liqueur family has found a buyer for her Orlando, Florida estate. And it's a Disney fan's dream. Ooh, yay. The 9,000 square foot mansion features Frozen, Finding Nemo, and Star Wars themed rooms. And it just sold for $15.75 million. Hilda Maria Bacardi, the great granddaughter of the Bacardi founder, bought the home in 2018 for about $7 million, and it sits on a half an acre inside the Golden Oaks neighborhood, which is within the Walt Disney World Resort. The new owner will have access to the parks and all the amenities. The Mediterranean-style home includes a home theater, which looks like the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. The sliding doors even make that signature sound as they open. So, I mean, that's awesome. And if you get in Golden Oak, you got some dollars.
You do.
You got your own backdoor entrance into the parks. It's nuts.
And the founders of Cirque du Soleil, they've just listed his home in Montreal, Canada at a reduced price. Guy Liliberte is selling his estate for $9.3 million, features 50 rooms, including 8 bedrooms and a host of specialized spaces. It was first on the market last October for $13.8 million. The property spans more than 13,000 square feet across 5 differently designed levels.
I've always thought if I designed my own house, I would literally just be like, babe, whatever you want. I have no idea.
You're a smart man, Matt.
I'm happy living in an apartment with a folding chair, a bed, and a TV on the floor, and I did it in Miami for 6 months before I bought furniture.
Speaking from experience. That does it for us. Thanks so much for spending time with us.
Peace and love.